Too bad I can't share the smells here because it smells really nice and refreshing and very green and just green and refreshing. And all the birds, you could hear them chirping. So some people have been talking about the fact that they come to Europe and eat and lose weight without trying because there's so little chemicals, like compared to American foods, there's less chemicals in the food. So I say, all right, great. Then if you want to have an easier time maintaining a healthy weight, you can move to Europe. Or if you're allergic to winter like me, you could just spend the summer there and eat and be merry. So you probably heard about the Blue Zone study that looked at the longest lived populations, right? So there are areas around the world that these researchers found centenarians. Centenarians are people that live 100 and beyond, right? They're knocking on 120 years plus, right? And so in the Blue Zones, they've written a book. They wrote a few books actually, but they have the Blue Zones, which talks about this, like these 5 blue zone areas where centenarians live, what their lifestyle is like, how it's different than the American lifestyle, and like what we can do basically to increase our longevity. And they also have a book about happiness, like the happiest countries, which I think that book's called Thrive, which I find even way more fascinating than the Blue Zones book that everyone talks about. Everyone's talking about longevity, but really we really should be talking about quality of life. But anyway, when it comes to the whole longevity conversation, there's some items. Yes, of course, we need to eat clean, right? We talk a lot about that on this channel. We need to move our bodies. Doing a lot of that here in Poland, right? In Europe, you walk a lot apparently. In Poland, it's no different. But the main things that I'm looking at for longevity, for reaching to 100 and beyond, because I know I could get there based off of my lifestyle. But there are a few things that could trip us up. Right. So one is like focus on family. I think from my perspective as an American, it's one of the things that I noticed that's really different. America versus how I'm observing people in Poland. Of course, this is a very subjective opinion. I have not done any studies on this, completely anecdotal. But in America, there's a lot of emphasis on the individual and success and getting that money and, being successful and things like this. And in Poland, I feel like there's a huge emphasis on family. On Sundays, everybody is in church or in their homes or something, because you don't really see them on the street unless you're in a big, big, big city like Warsaw. This video I shot a couple months ago now. Is that true? Yes. A couple months ago in Lublin. Currently, I'm in Poznań, Poland. And, in terms of people out on the street, there's on a Sunday, you see even less people in Poznań on the street compared to Lublin, which is quite interesting because I find both cities very calm. I would think Poznań has a little bit more of that kind of city feel, but in terms of that family connection, that not playing around on Sunday, things shutting down, Poznań, they are shut down on Sunday. But that's one of the keys to longevity, apparently, is focusing on family. Another one is cultivating a strong sense of faith, which Polish people definitely have. They take Sundays very seriously. Fostering friendships that are healthy with people with healthy habits, right? Because of mirror neurons, we tend to be like the people we hang around the most, right? So if your friends or the people you hang around the most have healthy habits, you yourself will have healthy habits, and therefore you'll all have a nice, long, healthy life together. And there's a lot of social interactions and things in Poland. I noticed, I'm really surprised at how busy the malls are. Malls are a huge thing in these Polish cities, and they are packed and busy. In America, it's like a dying industry right now. In the real estate industry, malls are suffering. And they're practically empty. I know the one near me in Orlando, which is supposed to be a pretty popular mall, it's hardly any stores in there that are open, unfortunately, because in America, Amazon and a lot of these online companies and things, they have shut down the mom and pops on the street. Is that a bad thing or a good thing or what? I think for me personally, I think it's neither. All companies have to be able to be nimble and pivot, when society, industry, the environment, the economy is telling you that it's time to pivot, right? So we've been going into this online direction for quite some time. And so, the companies that didn't have the resources or just chose not to, they're suffering right now. Most of our shopping that's happening in America is happening online. In Poland, I notice folks are out on the streets actually shopping. The malls are packed, and I'm wow, this is really interesting. It's very different. And it's important to do things together with people of like mind, walk together, eat together, worship together. These are some of the habits of the blue zones that facilitated them getting into 100 to 120 years and beyond, right? So if you're looking to live to 100, then you want to make sure to focus on family, cultivate a strong sense of faith, foster those friendships, make sure you're getting the cardiovascular activity, something basic like walking, making sure you're eating clean so you can support that cardiovascular health. And an important thing is downshifting. Downshifting is part of the Blue Zone's Power 9, which they talk about in their book. The Power 9 is all the lifestyle habits of these longest lived people on earth. And specifically downshifting is we're up here a lot, working, trying to achieve, trying to do. We need to downshift and let that brain relax, right? And actually just connect to life. Like there's things happening beyond work, like life, you know? It's been really great for me to come and see family here in Poland, little kids that I saw, you know, practically babies the last time I saw them. And now they're like grown and in college or going to college and like trying to figure out, you know, adulthood and things like this. I mean, it's just wild how quickly these kids growing up, and I'm not getting any older. It's like really strange, you know, how that's working out. But yeah, we need to kind of disconnect from work a little bit and like achieving and achievement to just kind of calm down and connect to life and enjoy life. People ask me why I'm in Poland, why 3 months, why so long? Just because I can. I'm blessed to be living in the time of the internet where I have location freedom. I thank God for this. And, you know, this was just a dream I had. I didn't know if it was even possible, but it was just fun to imagine it, and it manifested right before me. The money was there and waiting. God made things happen so that everything aligned so that I could be here and experience this. And so it's been great to have this balance of lots of play, relaxation, and getting some work done, but also adjusting myself so I'm not overworking. You know, so those are my tips. If you want to live to 100, that's what you need to pay attention to.